We want to solve the right triangle in which alpha equals 60 and c equals 2. So now, does that tell me anything extra? Well, let's find out. Let's draw a right triangle. That's not very good, but we're going to get over it. And it tells me that c is 2, so I know c is the hypotenuse. It says alpha is 60. Well, and remember that alpha is down here and beta is up here. So alpha is 60. What does that make beta? Well, we know the whole thing has to add up to 180, so beta is 30 degrees. Oh, this is getting kind of interesting. I'm going to go ahead and write those out so I remember what I wrote. So alpha, we said, is 60 degrees. We said that beta is 30 degrees. And remember, the other angle is gamma, and that's going to be a 90-degree angle. Now, we have learned something really special, right, about a 30, 60, 90 triangle. So if this is 60, and this is 30, remember, this is 1, this is 2, and this is the square root of 3. Now, the question we have to ask ourselves is, what is our hypotenuse? Well, our hypotenuse is a 2. And look at that. That is exactly like what we see down here on the bottom one for our rule for a 30, 60, 90 triangle. So is that going to help me do anything? Sure it is. That means that if I label my legs and everything, I know that I'm going to have the sine of 60 is going to equal to a over c, which is 2, which then would simplify to 2 sine 60, which will equal to a. And what is that? Well, we have to find the sine of 60, which we know by looking at our unit circle is the square root of 3 over 2. So this is going to equal to the square root of 3, which is a. Now what about the other leg? Well, I can take the sine of the other side. So I've got the 30 up here. So the sine of 30 is going to equal to b over 2. So now what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to multiply that out. So I'm going to get 2 sine 30 equals b, and then I'm going to have 2 times. Now, what is the sine of 30? Well, if I look at my unit circle, I remember that the sine of 30 is 1/2, and that's going to equal to 1, which is going to equal to b. Now, what do you remember about that? Remember that alpha across from it is a, beta across from it is b. So if you can't remember where your letters go, make sure that you write those down first before you try to solve using your sines, cosines, whatever you're going to do.